I'm Christine Persichetti with this current news update. The Vatican's verdict is in. Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio is innocent, exonerated of sexual abuse allegations that date back nearly a half-century. Now, the Bishop of Brooklyn is speaking out, saying the fight to clear his name isn't over. After an investigation into allegations of sexual abuse, Bishop Nicholas DiMarzio has officially been cleared of any wrongdoing by the Vatican. In a statement released Wednesday, the Vatican said the Congregation for the Doctrine of the Faith at the Vatican has informed Cardinal Timothy Dolan, Archbishop of New York, that it has found the allegations of sexual abuse of minors brought 20 months ago against the Most Reverend Nicholas DiMarzio, Bishop of Brooklyn, not to have the semblance of truth. In the past 20 months, 2 civil lawsuits were filed against Bishop DiMarzio, alleging that as a priest in the Archdiocese of Newark in the 1970s, he had committed acts of sexual abuse against minors, accusations the bishop has always vehemently denied. In Wednesday's statement, he continued to do so, saying in part, "I repeat what I have said from the beginning. There is no truth to these allegations. Throughout my more than 50-year ministry as a priest, I have never abused anyone." A Vos Estis investigation is a standard process for any bishop facing an allegation of abuse. When the Vatican ordered the investigation in January 2020, Cardinal Timothy Dolan was tasked with overseeing it. The Archdiocese of New York announced it had hired a law firm that in turn hired former FBI Director Louis Freeh to conduct the independent investigation. The results were then submitted to the Vatican's Congregation for the Doctrine of Faith for its review. Bishop DiMarzio's lawyer commended Cardinal Dolan's choice of investigators, saying former federal prosecutor John O'Donnell and former FBI Director Louis Freeh were impartial. Both are former law enforcement officials with proven experience and impeccable integrity, and the result of their investigation should leave no doubt. The allegations were reported just a month after Bishop DiMarzio was selected by Pope Francis to conduct an apostolic visitation to the Diocese of Buffalo to investigate allegations that Bishop Richard Malone mishandled sexual abuse cases there. News of the first allegation against DiMarzio broke following the completion of his fact-finding mission, but before the outcome was announced. Bishop Malone resigned shortly after in December of 2019. The allegations in both Bishop Malone and Bishop DiMarzio's cases were filed by the same lawyer, Mitchell Garabedian. But this isn't the end for the bishop's battle to clear his name. He explained on Wednesday he plans to continue fighting, saying, "I ask for your prayers as I continue to fight against the lawsuits stemming from these 2 allegations, and as I now look forward to clearing my name in the New Jersey state courts." Since Vos Estis was implemented, the Vatican has found credible allegations against at least 6 bishops. For more than 2 decades, Bishop DiMarzio has actually been on the forefront in the fight against sexual abuse in the church, even before the mandates of the 2002 Charter for the Protection of Children and Young People. The bishop had spearheaded various protocols when he was the Bishop of Camden. After arriving in Brooklyn in 2003, DiMarzio continued to institute change. Some of the measures include creating the Office of Victim Assistance to help individuals who come forward with allegations of abuse. The office provides counseling, referrals for therapy, and other important resources. Every employee of the Brooklyn Diocese, including students, undergoes mandatory training designed to spot the signs of abuse and how to stop it. In the Brooklyn Diocese, Bishop DiMarzio meets with survivors and listens to them carefully. One result of those talks is the annual Hope and Healing Mass. To contact the diocese's toll-free and confidential sexual abuse reporting line, dial 888-634-4499. The faithful are remembering Guy Sansaricq, the diocese's and the country's first Haitian-born bishop. Current News' Jessica Easthope takes us to his wake at St. Jerome's Church in East Flatbush.
One by one, a line of mourners came to say a goodbye to Bishop Guy Sansaricq. But the farewell was especially painful for Michel Guerrier, someone who considered him a spiritual father and a best friend.
Father Guy meant the world to me. I'm hopeful that, we're going to get a saint out of this one.
A wake for Bishop Sansaricq was held Tuesday at St. Jerome's Parish in East Flatbush, where he served as pastor for more than a decade. He died on August 21st, just one day shy of the 15th anniversary of his Episcopal ordination. He spent 50 years of his ministry as an invaluable resource for Haitians in the Diocese of Brooklyn, not just for spiritual needs, but social, economic, and immigration needs too.
People from Haiti could feel they belong to one body. His message was one of unity.
Monsignor Pierre-Andre Pierre had been living with Bishop Sansaricq at St. Gregory the Great for more than a year. He said he'll miss their nightly strolls through the neighborhood, but is proud to follow in his footsteps, taking over as the leader of the National Center of the Haitian Apostolate for now.
At St. Gregory, everybody would come to him. He was the glue.
Following the recent earthquake in Haiti, Bishop Sansaricq, the first Haitian bishop in the United States, quickly turned his efforts to the people and home he loved. Parishioners say he was both a powerhouse and a humble pastor.
You always felt comfortable coming to Mass, always felt comfortable talking to him, and you could tell he has a soft, nice heart, and everyone has always said the same thing.
In East Flatbush, Jessica Easthope, Currents News.
And Bishop Sansarick's Mass of Christian burial will be held at the Co-Cathedral of St. Joseph on Thursday at 11 a.m. Governor Kathy Hochul calling state lawmakers to a special session on Wednesday to discuss Tuesday's expiration of New York's eviction moratorium. The U.S. Supreme Court had ruled 2 weeks ago to allow thousands of eviction cases to move forward. Now, despite protests from landlords, lawmakers could extend relief to renters through January 15th. Louisiana residents still reeling from Hurricane Ida are scrambling for food, gas, and water. In some areas, it could be weeks or longer before power is restored. In the meantime, the Archdiocese of New Orleans is assessing the damage. Archbishop Gregory Amen says he's been calling pastors and principals to make sure they're safe. One pastor in particular transformed his church into an emergency shelter for nearly 36 people after Ida peeled off the roof of a nearby apartment building. I spoke with Father Joe Palermo, pastor at St. Francis Xavier in Metairie. He says helping the needy was a community effort.
Some people showed up with blankets and sleeping bags, and we raided the school cafeteria. We knew all the food there was going to spoil, so we were able to get some food.
As more people return to their homes, Father Palermo says his church will welcome anyone looking for a warm meal. If you'd like to help the community at St. Francis Xavier Church as they navigate these next few weeks, just head over to church.stfrancisxavier.com and click Faith Direct. That is this Currents News Update. The newscast will be back to its full length this fall when we move to our new studio. I'm Christine Persichetti. Thank you for joining us because we are putting your faith in the news.